going down, everybody? Sarius here. Hope you guys are rocking steady. We got a brand new gameplay video for Planetside 2 where we're going to be delving into how to effectively be a good teammate on your squad or team, okay? So right here, I'm going to pick up the HSNV scope. It definitely has grown to become my favorite scope, and actually I rock this scope on all of my main characters' weapons. It's just really awesome. So let's go and talk a little bit about why I love this scope. Now again, it's your choice. You choose whatever scope you like, but look at this. Mil dot sights, infrared, and on a night operation like this, you're going to see how perfect this thing is on getting the jump on enemies that obviously either don't have it or just aren't ready for the amount of firepower we're going to land down range, okay? So right here, I did a quick scan on the map. It looks like Indar is neutral by its color on the upper left, but look at this flashing territory. This is where a lot of fights are going. Mesa Comm Station is, I think it's really hot because it does have an enemy platoon feature on it. So we're going to go check out and see what kind of squads are available. This is all in real time, guys. None of this is, kind of like preset, so it's all dynamic, which is really cool. It's one thing I really love. So right here I see there's a keyword called Indar. Vivar, baby. We're going to be joining this squad here. Now look at this. It's actually a platoon. Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, and Delta are 4 squads working together. And right there you can see I'm position 8 on Alpha Squad. And Agent SR117 is going to be my squad leader. So I'm going to go ahead and immediately and check to make sure that my key for the platoon voice chat is bound. So I'm going to go and get this fixed up. The reason why this is effective is because if you have people from another squad that you're trying to communicate with that's in your whole platoon, you're not going to be able to talk to them just with squad chat. That's one big thing. And I would highly recommend that you get yourself a working mic. It's really imperative. Now, my squad leader immediately informed me that they were operating towards Mesa Comm Station, but one thing you can do is on the bottom left, you can click this tab here, and what it will allow you to do is zone immediately in on your squad leader, which is really, really cool. It's one of those things that will allow you to easily get back into the action. It also lets you deploy directly on him if he's in a stationary position. It's totally, totally awesome. Now, our squad leader made a really sage tactical decision. Mesa Comm Station currently had a ton of enemies defending that base, so instead of going south and directly going toe-to-toe with them, he instead went to the northwest and commanded all of us to take Zervin Amp Station, which was largely undefended at the time. So my goal, dropping in, being the new guy, being late to the party, I went ahead and dropped down into an area that would not compromise my team, but also allow enemies to draw their attention towards myself, but also have to be able to get into an awkward area in order to be able to reach me. This gave me time to be able to orient myself as to where my friendlies were, where the enemies were. Sure enough, I did see a Sunderer with an AMS modification to it. The AMS largely stands, I don't know what it stands for, but I do know that what it does is it allows enemies to be able to spawn out of that thing like crazy. It's a very dangerous thing to go up against. Currently, as a light assault, I don't have the capabilities within my arsenal to deal with it, so I did report that in immediately, and at this point my objective changes. This is what I like to consider the difference between a casual player and a player that actually has a little bit more going on the ball about the game dynamic. Right here, you have to self-actualize your own role system. How can I best benefit my team? So immediately after engaging that first contact, we start getting some people spawning from that Sunder. My objective, because my teammates are really working towards the east to try to get that satellite area of operation to the right where they can spawn back in if they get killed. My goal is to defend the western sphere right now from all enemies. You can see I did exchange some fire. I am hurt very badly, so I am taking cover while I can regain my shields, but at the same time, you can see that you have to put yourself in this mindset that you have to take cover. You have to really make sure that you're very situationally aware, and as you can see, I'm waiting for my teammates to start reinforcing the western half. They start moving in and start making a push, so at this point I don't want to be on the ground for much longer. I use the benefit of my light assault pack to get myself up onto the second level where I can kind of be on semi-overwatch to be able to help my team just in case they get ambushed. And sure enough, you're going to see a couple times where some of them do go up against some Vanu immediately. And the Vanu are the enemy infantry that we are engaging right now on the ground. They have these laser pulse rifles that have no recoil whatsoever. There's no bullet drop, and they're very, very lethal. So it takes teamwork to take these guys down for sure. For the most part, that's why I'm on the second level. I'm trying to see if I can set up maybe like a little bit more of a crossfire and hitting these enemies from a weird angle where they won't have time to react. Sure enough, You can see a heavy assault engaging some of my teammates there. Unfortunately, they did go down, but I was able to take out that heavy assault. And now my goal is to try to see if I can play a little bit more defensively. The NS-NV scope is proving to be extremely useful. I did detect an enemy. You can see that from a farther range out, it's very hard to see enemies. So it's really designed for close range fighting, close to mid, I'd definitely say. So I was able to get a couple rounds in the enemy infantry that was on the hill to my 12 o'clock. I did back out because, again, I am hurt extremely bad. You can see that my flashing health on the very bottom, I only have a fraction of it left, so I have to be very careful. Sure enough, a teammate was able to assist me in taking that guy down. But right now, this is ambush central. These rocks, you gotta put yourself in this mindset, like, what would happen if, let's say, a contact appeared from the north and started engaging me? How would I duck out of cover? That's a very, very important thing you need to know, because there are a lot of snipers in this game that are just waiting for you to sit still for that one split second to check your map, scratch your hair, or whatever else. And right there, sure enough, I'm so glad I mentioned that, because I got ambushed immediately, so I took cover. I already had kind of like a game plan in my head. I was able to return some rounds immediately, but after that I didn't want to duck out too much, because if I kept my head up I probably would have died, because again, you have to think about the faction strengths. What are you up against? These guys have insane rifles that can kill you in 2 seconds if you're not careful, maybe less than that. So again, you have to play out your faction strengths. For the NC, we have some of the most hard-hitting weapons initially, but again, we can't be spraying and praying. We have to control our aim. We have to control our recoil. We have to make sure that our bullets are going where they are intended downrange. You know what I mean? And there's just a lot of factors. But we do have the hardest hitting weapons. While the Vanu, although they don't really have the hardest hitting, they certainly have probably the most advantages in an FPS game that relies so much on skill and mechanics, because they don't really have to worry about recoil, they don't have to worry about bullet drops, so they can just spray as much as they want, and all of their shots are pretty much going to connect, give or take. You know, so as we approach the base, at this point, it looks like a lot of the generators are down, which I was kind of disappointed, because I wanted to walk you through the process in which we could take an amp station properly. However, if there's enough of a demand and people are like, you know what, I really like this video, Sarius, I like your Planetside 2 stuff, and I want to see how to break and breach your base properly, I have a good inclination of doing that, but only if more people want to see that. So I definitely want to hear your feedback. Again, if you want to see other footage, other perks, other classes, other stuff like that, I'm open, and I'm open game for that as well. Now, right here, we are on the cap point, but usually you'd have to take down the horizontal and the vertical generators, which I will cover, because in a little bit later footage, I'm actually going to be walking to the points to show you. Now, my objective at this point, because everything seems to be clear at this point, we have a lot of friendlies on point, and as they go ahead and bleed the enemy of their control of this base and they slowly start capturing it, my goal is going to be to patrol around the generator rooms to ensure that no enemy engineers are trying to repair the generators, because with their repair tool, they can go and bring the base back up to its full level defenses, which then means that enemies can reinforce the position. I've seen this done numerous times. So if you don't get too cocky, if you're already in the room and all the generators are destroyed, you definitely want to be designated some people to patrol, because enemies like this heavy, for instance, can be right around the corner waiting for the right moment to be able to attack and regen and basically be on lookout for his team or whatever squad or faction he's on. So you got to be real careful about that. So at this point, I'm making use of my light assault jetpack. I do love the jetpack as a light assault. It just has so much mobility to it. I did spot an enemy. However, he is going to slip out of my visibility range. I did check for him a little bit more, but I think that what I did was scare the literal crap out of him, enough so that he's going to back up to give us more time to be able to ensure this cap. I'm sure that maybe some friendlies would eventually find him. But in the meantime, my goal is going to be, like I said, just to have eyes on, try to see if maybe I can see some weird irregular patterns and try to report that to my teammates, because although I am a level 1 and I couldn't immediately deal with that AMS Sunder, which we saw before, I did have the power of voice communication with my mic system. So if you don't have a mic, I highly recommend you grab it, get one, because it's going to save you so much time and effort than typing. Because when you basically stop to go and type in the middle of a battle, you're just asking to get sniped in the head. I'm telling you right on. And sometimes people are so preoccupied with the things that are going on. They have like, they're killing multiple enemies, they're getting rushed by multiple infantry. They don't have time to read a message, and I know this from all of my days playing in a clan, playing in Counter-Strike, playing in all these other types of competitive games. So you definitely want to make sure that you have a hands-free way of communicating with your buddies, okay? I know that I've stressed that quite a few times, but even if it's just $1, $2 mic or whatever, I don't know how cheap you can get the mics, but just get one. Just get one, just get one. Okay, so right here what I'm going to be doing is approaching the horizontal generator. I'm going to cover this in another video only if people really want to see the proper way of taking it down. I can even show you how to infiltrate a little better. But again, you know, that just depends on what people want to see, because I mean, although that this character here is, you know, battle rank 5 or whatever, I do have quite a bit of experience in this game. I've come from the Battlefield 1942 background, old school Desert Combat mod. And I can definitely share a lot of insight that's made me the player that I am right now. I'm not saying that I'm a pro gamer by any means, because again, my competitive days are long over. I think I just more of like a kind of like a serious kind of competitive gamer, but without the whole, I don't know, competitive mindset, casual gamer. It's pretty much the best way to describe it. But I definitely want to see what you guys think and what you guys are thinking of the videos. But overall, I just want to thank you guys for tuning in. I hope that this video has hopefully given you some insight. If you want to see some more, do me a favor. Give that like button a little bit of love. And if you want to subscribe, that's an added bonus. But please give me your feedback. That's the only thing that's going to keep this going. So I will catch y'all later. You guys are my friends. You guys are my homies. I don't take any of you for granted. And I will see you on the flip side. More videos are on the way. Sarius out. Rock steady, hombres. Peace out.